I'd like to be very clear from the beginning that my approach is not what we might call a prophecy. We take the numbers and we take a contemplative approach. We just explore what are these themes and how we might relate to these themes during this coming year. So I'm going to make the chart. I'm sure many of you know it, but we'll show how we work out somebody's birthday. We make a little cross like this, and you put your we're going to make every of these quadrants a number, and we always put the day in the second quadrant, and we always put the month in the third quadrant, and we put the full year in the fourth quadrant, and we put the last two digits of the full year in the first quadrant. We're going to be looking especially at three numbers. Number 6, because that's what's changed from 25 to 26. Number 8, because that's the total of 26. And then number 10, which is 2 plus 2 plus 6. We can already tell you that if you want to work out your number for next year, you add your day and your month, and you add it with the 10. Okay, so you take these three numbers, add them up, and you get your number for 2026. I'm not going to go into detail into all the different personal numbers. Okay, we're going to start with number 6, then we'll talk about number 8, and then we'll talk about number 10. It's the first thing that changes is the number 6. And we call it hidden treasure. And I don't mean the number 6, I mean the number in the first quadrant. Last year, the hidden treasure was number 5. The year before that, the hidden treasure was number 4. And the year coming is number 6 is the hidden treasure. But hidden treasure can also be a hidden saboteur. Although the total is 10, but the details of the composition is actually what makes the difference. 2018 was also 10. That's different. The composition is different. The 8 and the 1. This year it's the 6 and the 2. I'm wrong, actually. In 2018, it should be 2017. So here we go. Number 6. What are the main themes of number 6? Fear or faith? Maybe a relationship between fear and faith, in fact. Conflict or confrontation. And that especially connects also to the theme of justice and responsibility. And when we say justice, we mean a natural justice. Shock, panic, or surprise. Yeah, we can be pleasantly surprised, or we can be frozen in shock. And number 6 is also nuclear force. And number 4 is what we call nuclear fusion. And number 6 is the nuclear fission, which means explosion. So we can have an explosion of consciousness or other kinds of explosion. 6 is also awakening. That explosion, 6 is linked to awakening and freedom. And it's so interesting contrast, freedom to or freedom from. People like to be free to, meaning free to do whatever they want to do. And in many ways we are actually free to do whatever we want to do, but we're not free of the consequences of that. Freedom from is a completely different thing. Freedom from my old stories, freedom from attachments, freedom from worrying about what other people think of me, freedom from addictions. This is the difference. Freedom to, freedom from. Now, any number, if it appears in a different quadrant, can have a different implication. So it's in the first quadrant because it's the year, not the day, not the month. And so it's in a very fundamental position. It's almost like an earthquake shake-up. Because the 26 makes 8, it can also lead to a kind of dreamy energy, to going up, 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 up. This means not so much a shake-up from the underneath, but a shake-up from above. being confronted with our beliefs, confronted with our principles. Let's focus on faith for a moment. Faith and fear. In most cases, fear is actually a problem. It paralyzes us. It makes us easy to be controlled. News channels use a lot of fear to hypnotize people in a way. But if we have faith without fear, it would be perhaps blind faith. If we have fear without faith, then we're completely stuck. So this combination, fear gives you a little bit of alertness, faith allows you to stay present, and this combination gives you intuition. So good to reflect on this nature of your relationship. Don't separate them. Don't say, oh, fear is wrong and bad, I just have faith. Just think about how they can work together, harmonize together. Justice. And the justice from spiritual teaching means natural justice, not a man-made justice. And that's especially the case when it's in the first quadrants, in natural justice. Justice of the cosmos, of cosmic laws, natural laws, not something that a human mind constructs. We could say something like it's a year in which natural justice imposes itself. And it comes in the form of storm, whether that's, again, an emotional storm, a mental storm, a spiritual storm, but it comes like a storm. Really, the 6, because it's a collective, where we're all sharing this number. It's not just you or her or him. We're all sharing this number together. And natural justice comes to us, the storm comes to us as potential for collective awakening, we could say. Now, it's good to connect up these themes together. Am I afraid of justice? Do I have faith in justice? Number 6 is a hexagram. Something like that, okay? 6 sides. And then what I'm suggesting is you learn to link it up. At each of these different points, you take one of the qualities. Fear, faith, and then you explore the interrelationships of them. We still have to put something there, we don't know yet. But you know, they're all part of the same number, the same facet of life, the number 6. Yeah, let's put confrontation there. Any of these can become karmic or dharmic, yeah? A storm comes like in the autumn and it takes all the leaves off the tree. And so there's something about that as well called exposure, stripping away the false. We use a metaphor like showing the bare bones. What's the real intention? What's the real essence of the things? And number 6, in its at its best, we refer to intuition. So it means being ahead of the time. We know a storm might be coming, like that, isn't it? You feel it in the air, yeah? And that's intuition, right? So now you are ahead of the time. And how can that serve you? It's also called anticipation, but not meaning anticipate the worst. At the same time, be prepared. And that's wisdom. And wisdom connects to number 8, 2026. The 26 of that is 8. We're going to go to number 8. Compassion is the key here. And that's what can we say? And it's the number of the mother. What is she going to be birthing next year? It's connected to compassion and wisdom. Wisdom, so in the way we say wisdom is compassion and compassion is wisdom. Compassion is a infinite. Number 8 is also infinity. We are finite and our existence in this body, in this life is a finite existence. So I cannot from my physical existence give infinite compassion, but I can be a vehicle, a vessel for it. Compassion is impersonal. I call on the infinite to come through. It's healing, purifying. Our problems are finite problems. So the infinity dilutes our finite problems. It's like the ocean. If we will put a bucket of mud in the ocean, it's nothing to the ocean. is just easily dissolved and diluted, yeah. The ocean throws it around in its chaos, breaks it up into small parts, and there's nothing left of the problem. But we have to pay attention to the chaos. And this is the idea of the healing crisis. Form starts to break down. 6 is the wind and 8 is the water. So wind and water, they don't have form. This is the storm and the chaos. And then with the 6 is, do we panic or do we stay in faith? It's like a tsunami in a way. But it can be just a tsunami of chaos. It can be a tsunami of compassion. Compassion doesn't know any limit. Real, true, honest compassion. So I think compassionate meditations would be good for next year. It takes a lot of energy to resist compassion, to deny it, to reject it, to resist it. But our true nature actually is to be compassionate. 8 is a connection to that flow of life and death, the coming and going of life and death. We should destroy our drama, kill our false hopes. Don't kill the enemy, kill your animosity. Then there is no enemy. Now 8 and 6, because it's together now, this composition of the 8 contains the 6. So in this case, we have to see a connection. Compassion needs presence, faith, and it needs your breath. If your breath is not available for compassion, how can compassion come through? Are you present for faith? You can put it like a question. Can I be present for faith? You can put it like a declaration, like a commitment. I am present for faith, and I'm present for compassion. It's more powerful than putting it like a question. Am I or can I be? But I am. It's important to remember that in this coming time, 26, the 8 needs the 6. Compassion needs the qualities of the 6. I offer myself to be, how to put that, I'm responsible for compassion. And we can add to that, I respond with compassion. Now comes number 10. And many of you know 10 is all or nothing, which means we can say everything forever, but that doesn't work really. 10 is the total of its composition. That's why more attention has to be given to the 6 and the 8. And there's this very special relationship between, I'm going to show you now, between 8, 6, and 10. Okay, so we've taken the normal grid of 9 and we're adding another level. And what you see now, if we highlight the 3 numbers of 6, 8, and 10, and then you see how the 8 is sitting in between the 6 and the 10. And for this reason, I put a lot of emphasis now on the compassion of the 8, because that's going to optimize the outcome of this combination of numbers. In Japji, the last part of the Japji, there's this word Nirankar, describing God as a Nirankar without any form. The air is formless, the prana of the pranic body is formless, and the 10 is holding that space. And that's number 10, yeah, the Nirankar, the no form, no name, indescribable, and yet water and wind generate life, they generate form. 8 as the mother and 6 as the midwife. Thank you all. Satnam.